to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host Justin P. and with my MVP billion-dollar co-host Miss Shannon Finch. For the YouTube version, it's 146, and for the audio version, for those who can't watch live, it's season 2, episode 46. The links to the audio version are right there below in the description. Right underneath that is myself, Shannon, and Dave's social media platforms. So, like I always say, I have everything: Shannon, Facebook, Twitter, IG, David, Facebook, and IG. So, if there's anything I feel like we're not talking about, Ravens related, hit us up in the DMs, and we'll do our best to include it in one of our shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, subscribe, yeah, I know all that good stuff like that. So, we're doing our recap of Week 15's dominant win versus the Giants. So, without further ado, I'm gonna hand the floor over to Miss Shannon.
All right, Justin. So I think this game pretty much went how we both thought it would, and we did our preview last week. So give me your good, bad, and ugly for the Ravens in Week 15.
The good Lamar. Another 5 touchdown performance. Jackson 5 6-1, I think, in his career. The offense as a whole, 35 points. Like I said, we could have had more. We had a fumble first drive and a couple of drives. We penalties hurt, and we had the punt. Um, the defense as a whole played great. They only had 100, like 80 yards on total offense. Um, Devontae Walker got a touchdown his first catch. So like I said, get this kid in the game. Um, Bad. Just probably a few missed blocked assignments. A few missed tackles, nothing major. Ugly. The Moss fumble, which was early, and that's it.
Yeah, I pretty much have the same thing. For the good, I think that
Kevin Hall.
I said for the good, I said everything. Like I feel like we are pretty much able to dominate them on both sides of the ball. And special teams may have had their best day of the season on Sunday. And we were able to get some guys rest with a touch stretch of games coming up, 3 games in 10 days. So it was good to be able to do what we knew we could do it, and have the guys rest in the fourth quarter. I actually didn't have anything for bad. I couldn't think of anything that I really wanted to say that was bad. Because like you said, it was certain things here there, but it wasn't anything that was game changing. But for ugly, I have penalties. We had, I believe, 12 penalties, and like 9 of those came from the defense. That was disappointing because, like I said, we played the Eagles. If you clean up some things, you might can win a game. We cleaned it up, but we didn't win that game. I kind of thought coming off the bye we might clean it up again, but we didn't. So that was pretty ugly to me because that's been an issue all year. So that's my good and ugly. I didn't have a bad this week. All right, so let's move on to position grades. What grade
Okay.
did you give the coaches, Justin?
Overall, an A+. It was a dominant performance. Like I said, defense really shut them out because one drive we walked them in the end zone was all penalties. And then the second
Mm-hmm.
one, same thing. Like I said, we could have really had more points. This really should have been a 49-0 game. But like I said, penalties and the one turnover, kind of dampened that. But we still dominated the game. So I give them A+.
And I gave him an A. I think the offense was dominant, the defense was suffocating, and like I said, special teams may have had their best day yet. I think we found the best returners for the team. Like I mentioned that going into the bye week, like let's figure it out as far as returners there. And I felt like Ali and Justice Hill did a good job in the return game. So I gave the coaches an A. And what grade did you give Lamar?
Okay. A+. I don't care about the fumble. If you want to put that into your grade, just whatever. And about anybody in general, like Bobby Brown says, your prerogative. But only 4 incomplete passing, how hard that is to do in an NFL game. 5 touchdowns, basically 300 yards passed, and then like another 60 on the ground, 70. A+.
I gave him A plus as well. Lamar had more touchdowns and incompletions. He had a good mix with the running. You know, he listened to his mom. I think that's a recipe for success offensively for us when we have Lamar being able to be balanced like that. So A plus. And what grade did you give the offensive line?
I give him an A. Could have been an A plus. A couple of missed blocks and penalties kind of hurt the grade, but I give him an A.
And I gave him a B for the same reasons. I don't feel like it was a perfect day or a good day. I mean, it wasn't a bad day. It was an okay day. Lamar can't do what he did without the offensive line doing their job. But like you said, some penalties, you know, those things kill drives. So I couldn't give him an A, but they had a good day. I gave him a B. And what grade did you give the running backs?
C plus. Not a save it for me. Not a bad day, but not a great day. But so yeah, like I said, Derrick Henry 60 something yards. Justice Hill had a few good runs. So did Rashawn Holly. So C plus.
I gave him a B. I think Derrick Henry had a pretty mid day, but Justice Hill he contributed in different ways, particularly in a passing game, a receiving game. Ali had some good runs, so that was good to see that as well. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
think it was a good day. It was a good day for that group. It could have been better, you know. But when the passing game is going like that, it might be times where Derrick Henry's not getting as many touches as we would like him to get. And like I think he had less than 20, and then we know that getting more than 20 or more is like a recipe for winning games. But when you're having that much success in the passing game, it's like you don't have to, you know, why not still do that when you can when you're seeing something from the defense, you can expose it and take advantage. So I don't think it was a bad day like they were stopped or hindered, you know, but it was a pretty midday. But I'll give them a B because they still contributed to the offense. And what grade did you give the wide
Well
receivers
said.
and tight ends?
I get them an A. Like I said, Zay, 80 yards. Bateman had two touchdowns, 150 yards. Bateman had 80 yards. Sorry. Mark Andrews had a touchdown. Like he threw five touchdowns. So and four of them was the receivers and tight ends. So they get A.
Hmm. I gave them an A plus. I feel like I like games like this where everybody can get in on a passing game. Those are some of our best games offensively, and when we can be really well balanced. We got touchdowns out of that group. I mean, Bateman had two. Like he had a great day. So yeah, I give them an A plus. Everybody got in on that. All right, so let's go over to the defense. What grade did you give the defensive line?
A plus. They had under like I said, they only had 180 yards of total offense. Um, think they got a couple pressures. Think they got like two or three sacks. So yeah, give them A plus.
I gave them A plus as well. I mean, if you can hold a NFL team to 55 rushing yards, I don't care who's on the other side. Like that's not easy to do. And like you said, they were getting
At
pressure
all.
up front. They had a good day. I give them an A plus. And what grade did you give the linebackers?
They get an A. You know, they were getting pressure, stopped the run, had a couple quarterback hits. They didn't kill us in the pass game, so A. They get an
I have them for A as well. I think we got three sacks out of that group. Most of the sacks came from the outside linebackers in the game. And they also played a role in the running game. Like you said, we didn't give up too much in the passing game. Anything no, like what we've seen them chasing wide receivers, there wasn't a whole lot of that going on from that group. So I give them an A as well. And what grade do you give the DBs?
A. Secondary, get an A. Late neighbors, he got all that stuff in the fourth quarter, and it was all short stuff. Hit 80 yards of a 10 catches. So you know, we made him work. Like I said, it was a late touchdown. So yeah, I give them an A. They did a pretty good job.
And I'm giving them an A minus. I feel like I agree with everything you just said, but the minus is for the penalties. They had like 5 penalties themselves. And a lot of that can be, ticky tack. Brandon Stevens still
Yeah,
doing the same thing
yeah.
he's doing. We know that Wiggins is handsy, but we're getting closer to the playoffs, and things like that will cost you games. So I'm giving them an A minus, but the minus is just for the penalties alone. And what grade did you give special teams?
And that's fair. I give them a B plus. Justin Tucker hit all his extra points. Stout punted the ball pretty well. Ali and Justice Hill has had pretty good returns. We didn't give up no punt returns, so I give them a B plus.
And I give them an A. I think they had a great day. Like I said, this may have been their best day this season. All right, so let's move on to the topics for today.
What was your grade,
So,
Shannon? Because string
oh, A. You heard me?
plus A, same thing.
Okay. All right, so moving on to the topics. Now, a lot of people have been calling for Keaton Mitchell. I mean, us included, we've talked about it, wanting to see him more on offense and things like that. But should we be more appreciative of Justice Hill and want to see more from Ali?
Yeah. Justice Hill has earned that. He scored. Scored. If he don't score rushing touchdown, he scores a receiving touchdown. He does a lot for us. So yeah. And Rasheen Ali showed you. I've been told it, but wait till he gets a chance. He had some big runs. One of them could have almost went for a touchdown. But at that point, we were just trying to get the game over with. But I think Keaton Mitchell will be utilized, though. He will. Like I say, he's coming off a serious injury. So we
Hmm.
got to be patient. And like I said, playoff time, I think you'll see all 40 of these guys get utilized in some capacity. So, yeah, just be patient, everybody. Just be patient. Yeah, like I said, we'll see all 4 guys. Nobody's tired. Everybody has fresh legs, so to say. And especially
Hmm.
Derek can be fresh in the fourth quarter. If we get a lead in the playoffs, weighing teams down. So, yeah. So, we'll definitely see more of Keith Mitchell and Rasheed Ali.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you're saying. I was one who didn't expect to see Keaton Mitchell back before January, so the mere fact that he was even active before that time was cool. But we knew it was going to take some time for him to get back on a field. Justice Hill, he's been an ultimate pro since he's been here. Like I said, every time I see him and think about him, I think about Joe Flacco because that's who we drafted with that Joe Flacco pick. Um, he's like it doesn't he hasn't really had a true chance to be compete or be running back number one, but he still comes in and do exactly what we need him to do. Every season he doesn't complain. That was a well deserved extension that he got earlier this season. I like to call him Mr. Reliable because he's just always there. He's there when you need him, and like you said, he can get you a touchdown rushing. He can get you a touchdown passing. Like he could be a third down back if you needed him to be that. And it was nice to see Ali get some bump. You know what I mean? Like around this time of the year, it's getting cold, playoffs is coming. You need your run game. So if we can have a 4-headed monster, like you never know what's gonna happen. But if we can have all 4 running backs being able to be involved in those games, that'll just make us even more dynamic offensively. So I think it's going like you said, I think it's gonna be a point that we're gonna need all 3 of those guys, including obviously Derrick Henry.
Absolutely.
All right. So outside of quarterback, because I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about quarterbacks, but outside of quarterbacks, will Mark Andrews end up being the best offensive player ever drafted by the Ravens?
That's good. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to say yeah because he's our all-time leading receiver in touchdowns and probably up there in receiving yards. So yes, yeah. I guess you said outside of the quarterbacks for sure. Yes. Only other person I would say is probably Jamal Lewis. That's it. As far as drafted, that's it. Like the body of work or Todd Heap. That's it. They're the only other two that outside the quarterbacks you can throw there with Andrews. So definitely yes, Mark Andrews for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to look at it like Mark Andrews has been here for 7 years now. I think this is the seventh year. He's
Yeah.
already number one in all times in receiving touchdowns and all time touchdowns for the organization. So that goes to show how much of a weapon he truly is. He only needs about 145, a little bit more than that, to become second and receiving yards, and he'll probably pass Derek Mason next season for that. So when you have a guy that's going to be your number one leading receiver, number one leading touchdown, and number one receiving yards, I don't see how he can't be your best offensive player drafted. I just feel like a Super Bowl win would just be icing on the cake for his legacy in that regard. So, wanting us to get one for Lamar, Mark Andrews is also one of those guys that I would like to see win a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, because one can't win a Super Bowl without the other, especially while they're on the same team now. So that goes without saying for sure. But I get what you're saying. But like I said, Andrews is definitely man. The man and reliable. I couldn't believe people say get rid of him just because he was still shaking out the rest. Like
Hmm.
fans just hit the panic button way too quick.
Yeah, and we talked about that, and we both was like, no, you don't get rid of Mark Andrews.
No, well, not at all.
All right, and so our last topic, we don't do a whole lot of drama. We've had some drama the past couple of years, but this has been happening since after the Eagles game. But it was reported this week that Diontae has been excused from practice this week. They haven't said they wanted to release him. They haven't really said what's going to happen. But do you think it's safe to say that he's done in Baltimore?
Yeah, he just going to probably remain on the roster. So for one, we get that comp pick, and two, a team like KC or Buffalo don't snag him up. So because you'll be doing him a favor if you go ahead and just release him now. And now you don't get the compensation you're supposed to get, and now he get to choose where he want to go. And then we'll
Hmm.
have to most likely play one of those teams. And that'd be our luck. He'd be the type person to make the play to win the game or something. So
Right.
you know, I just let him sit there in street clothes. He can sit there and chill or whatever. And then off season part where he's with them, then where you get the pick. But yeah, but you can't refuse not to go in the game. I understand you're frustrated. I understand you go from being a top target to now your targets is not coming. But you got to realize you just got him in season, so we can't just say the hell with Aguilar and all them and just throw you over them. Just like you got to build that camaraderie with Lamar and get the offense fully down pat. So yeah, I didn't
Hmm.
really like that. I'm not too surprised because I already knew the baggage he came with, but I was like, hopefully his talent outweigh that. But
Hmm.
like they said, leopard can't change spots.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's done. I mean, I found it interesting that the Ravens and the 49ers players, um, but they and coaches kind of like talked about it totally different. Like the Ravens were kind of pacifying it and was talking about welcoming him back and things like that. And the 49ers, they were done with dude that night. Like they didn't want him back in that locker room at all. So even the GM came down there and from what I heard, yelled at him on the sideline. And the GM is the reason why he left the field because he told him, get out of here then since you're not gonna, go in a game. Um, but I feel like they like you said they don't want to just release him because releasing him it benefits him in a sense that he can just go somewhere else. So why do that? And then you traded a draft pick to get him, so at least get the comp pick back in an off season, and you can kind of say they doing him a solid because in comparison to the 49ers, he's probably still getting paid. I mean, unless something happened that we don't know about yet, he got suspended, so we know he
Mhm.
didn't get paid for that week, but he's probably still going to get paid this week and next week and the week after that. So technically, the Ravens are probably doing him a solid by still letting him stay on the roster. But at the same time, I'm not going to let you really do not going to give you a real solid because I'm not going to let you go where you want to go at. It's an unnecessary distraction. I just hope that the media just stops asking about him like he's not here. So if you see him out there on practice, then sure, ask about him. But he's not here. So I don't think no more this season we need to talk about him unless he actually shows up.
My thing is these guys, Deontay Johnson and Devontae Campbell. You guys are playing a game like that you was dreaming of your whole life. Like,
Hmm.
that's every young kid, especially an athlete, football player, you look to the NFL, it's the highest of the high. You're doing something that millions of folks will give both arms and left leg, both legs for to do.
Hmm.
and y'all just taking it for granted, man. Like I said, I don't care. You supposed to go out there and battle with your brothers no matter what. Especially if you're not hurt or nothing like that. Y'all guys were perfectly healthy. Y'all just were frustrated because the game didn't go the way or whatever. Like, I don't know what Devontae Campbell's reason is because I haven't been paying attention to it as much. But Diontae Johnson, like I said, you Bateman hurt. That was the perfect time for you to go in there and get some catches. And that could have helped out in one game. Then that would have increased your role. Like, but you want to sit there and pout.
And sometimes you got to
No.
take accountability. He got to take accountability too. That when he did get in, it was plays that he left on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we ain't
You
got time to
slipping
be.
and falling out.
Yeah. So it
So
is
yeah,
what it
no,
is with
you're right.
that.
Yeah, you're completely right, Shane. He definitely got to look himself in the mirror too, because they did put him out there. He missed some passes or whatever, and didn't run the right route. So I don't know,
And
man.
like,
But
and why force that when you already got chemistry with Andrews, likely Zay Bateman is better this season. You know, Nelson Aguilar can make some plays. You see Tylen Waller every time he get in, he's making a play. Like we don't have time to play around with you when we trying to make this playoff
yeah,
run.
and then
So,
and Taz Walker now get his
oh,
confidence
first
up.
catch,
He scored a touchdown. So now that's gonna make his confidence go up. Now he's gonna get more hungry and want more.
yeah,
And you still got your
first
tight
catch
ends.
was a touchdown.
So,
That was awesome.
yeah, so he's not really needed, honestly.
And I think that when we traded for him, we kind of both was like, man, like I didn't feel like he was game changing either way. It was just like, I hope you don't come in here and do what you're doing. Basically, like he's an
I knew why.
example of a receiver I've been talking about.
Yeah, no, you right. I knew why we did it. It was an insurance policy in case Rashad Bateman got hurt. So far he's
Hmm.
been relatively healthy. He had a little scare, but that's why he did it as an insurance policy, so we didn't have to go out there and go find somebody 40 years old. Come play
Hmm.
receiver. So, like I said, it was a low risk, high. It was a low risk, high reward. So the risk is low. We didn't give up no first, second, third. Gave up like a fifth or some shit. So,
Hmm.
like I said, the Ravens knew the baggage he came with from Pittsburgh and all that. So it was this. Probably didn't expect this, but they knew he could be an issue at times. The Pittsburgh, remember the play Cincinnati, I think last year or the
Hmm.
year before, it was one of them. It was a fumble. It was right there. He just basically walked off the field. So you're saying that he is a player that will always play 100%.
And sometimes I have guys like that. You gotta have like really, really good leadership in your locker room.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like when Brian McKinney came here, it worked because of the leadership we had in the locker room. Like, certain guys like it, but it might have been different if somebody could have talked to Diontae. Like maybe he would have been like, you know what, let me go ahead and go in this game. And then it wouldn't have been what it ended up being. But also in the middle of a game, you would just might not even be thinking about it, like trying to pacify him. Like they said after games they tried to pacify him, but if you pouting in games that we winning, that goes to show that you're being selfish. Like it was more or less about him and not the team. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and I know Zay and I'm probably looking at him like, bro, you just basically you quit on us, bro. Like you put a can on there and possibly made a difference. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
guys definitely look at him side eye now. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh well, but that's it for today's show, everybody. Like I said, sometimes shows not gonna be super super long. It
That's
could be a
because
good
the
thing for.
Giants ain't really give us much to talk about.
They didn't. And I didn't. I wasn't gonna stretch it nor was preview might be a little nice, decent show because we're playing against a formidable opponent that that we have struggled with. So, and it's for basically essentially for division. So that show might be from 40 to hour. We never know, but today's light show something for y'all to watch when y'all lunch break or something. Go ahead,
Mm.
Shannon. Any closing remarks?
I'm just excited for this game on Saturday. Like I said, I feel bad for the guys that have to play these 3 games in 10 days. I'm glad that we played the Giants because it gave us the opportunity to let some guys get some rest before this tough stretch comes up. But I'm excited for the Steelers game. Like you said, it's for the division at this point. And starting the season 0-2, who would have thought that we would be here with 3 games left in the season?
Yeah, you're right.
with
Like I
with
said, I
all
mean,
the
shit. I
issues
mean,
we've had, bad defense, bad special teams, missed field goals, like, and we still have a chance to win the division.
the offensive line was in shambles. Yeah, so
Everything.
yeah. So yeah, you're right. Just like I said, this is essentially for the division. Could we win it? But I don't know how you know it will go far standing. But I know Pittsburgh win it. They basically got it. So we have to win. And then they play the Chiefs too, so that can probably help. Mahomes look like he'll be playing. But yeah, like I said, it's a brawl for it all Saturday, like Holyfield Tyson. So
Hmm.
yeah, we gotta win this
And
game. Like I was,
I do not want them clinching the division in Baltimore. Like Ravens fans got to understand, like that cannot happen.
yeah,
That
yeah.
cannot.
That
You
happened
talk
in
about.
2008, and remember when San Antonio Holmes caught the ball? Well,
Hmm.
he saved. Well, I'm talking when he it was controversial, was he in or not? Yeah, they clinched the division that day, so we definitely don't want to go back to that. And the fight almost broke out too. Ray Lewis was great punch James Harrison in his mouth. So yeah, definitely. Like I said, like I was talking to Gregory Purnell. We got to win this game by any means, whether it's 38, 35, or 13-10. We have to just find a way to
We
win.
have to. We gotta win. We gotta
We'll
win.
down. Yeah.
It's a mental thing at this point. Like just how many times they've lost to the Steelers. Like we gotta win this game. We gotta win it.
Somebody said something. My bad. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna see this comment real fast. So happy, Miss DJ out the way talking about Diontae Johnson. Yeah, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, enjoy the Thursday night game. I think it's Broncos and Chargers should be a good one. The NBA little couple one
Oh
tonight. We
yeah.
play them.
I was gonna say your Thunder play tonight.
If we win it, so it's not nothing. I'm gonna be jumping up and down like
Oh
when
my God. Here
like
y'all go.
like
Here
we're
y'all go.
not y'all. We're not gonna celebrate winning it
Oh
as
my God.
tournament.
Okay.
It's cool, but I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get the Davy O'Brien trophy. That's what I want.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this will be a good confidence booster for our young cats. So I will say that.
I
But
think it's gonna be a good game. It should be a good game.
for sure, ain't no doubt about it. Giannis and Dame Leonard. That's enough said. So yeah. So we'll record Friday. Shannon's busy Thursday, so we'll give y'all I feel like Friday would be better than Wednesday because Friday is the anticipation, then it's the next day, so that
Hmm.
final send off show for that basically for the division title. So I think it would better more people will be tuned in because there's not gonna be a whole lot going on. So yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a football weekend. We have football from
A lot of
Thursday
football.
up to Wednesday. So yeah, and the college playoffs start this week too. So a few games on.
Hmm.
So yeah, so everybody it's just a wonderful time of year. All right, so everybody, from your host Justin P and my MVP billion-dollar co-host Miss Shannon Finch. We'll see y'all Friday. Well, like I said, we and Shannon we may. I'll get with Shannon see if she want to record a little earlier. So we'll
Oh yeah.
keep y'all posted far as the time. We'll record Friday though for sure. We love y'all guys, and we are out.
Good night. Bye, Justin.
Bye, Shannon.